Hi everyone, and welcome back to Conquering Math, where it all adds up. I'm Pat Long, and this is problem of the day number 12, dinner costs. Before we get started, remember that you can find PDFs of this problem and of the next problem in the links below this video. You might want to take a look and solve it yourself before watching the video if you haven't already done that. Alright, let's take a look at today's problem. Problem of the day number 12, dinner costs. Ben and his friends went out to dinner and their bill was $75. Their state has a 6% tax and they left a 20% tip. Sydney and her friends also went out to dinner and their bill was $80. They live in a different state with a 5% tax and they leave a 15% tip. Which group spent more money on their dinner? You can solve this problem in a couple of different ways. One of the ways to solve it is to find the tax, then find the tip, and then add that to the bill to get the total price. Another way to solve it is to find the total percent that they pay compared to the original bill and use that to find the total price. I'm going to use that method because it saves a little bit of time. So let's take a look at Ben's group. They paid for food plus tax plus tip. The food was their original cost for their bill, so we'll set that as 100%. Then they pay an extra 6% for tax and an extra 20% for tip. And so if you add all these together, they've paid 126% of their original bill. Now what we can do is we can set up an equation. If they paid 126% of the original bill, and the original bill was $75, we could say 126% of $75. Of means multiply, and we'll change this percent to a decimal, so now we have 1.26 times $75. And if you multiply this out, you'll find the total cost for Ben's group, which was $94.50. Now we'll take a look at Sydney's group. Same idea. They paid for food, they paid tax, and they paid tip. They paid, again, their full cost of the food was 100% of their original cost. They pay an extra 5% of that cost for tax, and another 15% of that cost for tip, which means they paid a total of 120% of their original cost for their total bill. Now we can say 120% of $80. Of means multiply, and we'll change 120% to a decimal, 1.20 or just 1.2 times $80 is $96. And so you can see here that Sydney's group spent $96 for dinner, which is more than the $94.50 that Ben's group spent. One note here, adding these percentages together only works if they're each separate percents. If they pay the tip on the tax amount as well, that would be a different problem. You'd have to break it into different steps. But what we did for this problem is we counted them each as a separate cost, so you can just go ahead and add them together. Now let's take a look at the next problem. Problem of the day number 13, superheroes. Your friend sends you one of those what would your blank be games on social media. This game is supposed to tell you what type of superhero you would be based on your favorite color, the month you were born, and your favorite animal. You have 7 choices for favorite color, which determine the adjective in your superhero name. Amazing, super, incredible, etc. There are 12 options for your power based on your birthday month. For example, invisible, flying, invincible, etc. And the noun portion of your superhero name is your favorite type of animal from a list of 8 choices. Dog, horse, weasel, dolphin, etc. How many different superhero outcomes are possible? And in this case, an outcome is one adjective paired with one power and one noun. For example, you might get the amazing flying weasel. Remember that the PDFs of today's problem and of this upcoming problem are in the links below this video. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Problem of the Day on Conquering Math, where it all adds up. I'm Pat Long, and I'll see you next time.